Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this clarity call discussing why certain patterns of our life and why certain emotions keep reoccurring in our life. I am Coach Swami Pillai. I am certified facilitator with Access Consciousness, a certified Silva Ultramind instructor, teacher of Gaia Touch class, and a relationship coach primarily. Okay. And I'm from Pune, and I host this gift course on every Tuesday. Today we are having it on Wednesday. Otherwise, we have this call on Tuesday, and this call will be mostly in English, unless and otherwise we have someone who doesn't understand English at all. Okay, and this is an interactive call. um, I had in mind to share about the idea of this, the topic of this topic and the content of this course since a while. However, it has been not until I think just last 3 4 days where the energy of this call had been showing up more and more. And yes, now's the time. Yeah. So welcome everyone, and let us see. I had asked you guys to post in the chat the emotion that you keep experiencing on a daily basis. So let's read. Loneliness, anxious feeling. Bis, Bisamaya, if I am sorry if I am pronouncing your name incorrectly. Feeling helpless, not able to put forth my opinions, not being really motivated from inside, sense of unworthiness, feeling stuck. Manisha feeling stuck. Nina rejection. Hmm. What about others? Type in the chat the emotion that you experience on a daily basis, like every single day. If I have to ask you what is the emotion that you keep experiencing the most, then this would be like these would be some of the experience emotions that you would be experiencing. Yeah, cool. Hmm. Confusion, lack of clarity. That's confusion. Okay, all right, fine. Now I would like all of you to type in the chat, or else we can even keep it open for discussion. Like you can share in the audio message as well. What is a pattern that keeps recurring? I don't want you to tell me the actual pattern for now. Just type in the area. Is it a pattern that keeps like that bothers you? It's not about a pattern reoccurring. It is a pattern that is disturbing you. Yeah, that you are fed up with. What is that one pattern? Perhaps you can just type the area in which you have this recurring pattern: relationship, career, self development, health. So there is certain pattern that keeps recurring. Type in the chat the area, and if you want in that area, just type in just a sentence, what is that pattern? Like relationship, experiencing rejection every now and then. Health, I keep falling sick. So type the area and type in the pattern that you experience. You can type multiple as well. Okay. I'm not going to primarily address each of the message that is going to be there, but I'm going to pick up from there to discuss and to talk about this topic in general. Yeah. And meanwhile, as you guys type in, I want you all to know that I had been working in the area of helping people to break their patterns since year 2012 is the first time that I began with this, and it has been ongoing. So last 5 years I have been exploring a lot of different stuff. However, now since last 2 weeks and 3 weeks, this energy of working on this area has showed up again. So I am getting my focus back in this area. So first and foremost, it is possible to break any pattern of our life, any pattern that keeps recurring either in relationship or in finance or in health or in business or in your spirituality, in your self development. It is possible to break that pattern, and that's first. Okay, so there is a hope. People, those of you who are like, oh my god, I don't think I can ever break this cycle. And as you are constantly anticipating the pattern to reoccur. Yeah. Please know that this can be broken. Okay. And there is so much information right now that I have to share, and I'm just uh, getting a sense of where do I begin this all from. So let's see. Let us begin this with story. Yeah, all of us like stories. So let me share with you a life story of one of my client. I'm not going to share the name. However, I'm just going to share in brief about what this client has been experiencing and see for yourself how where you are with this. So there was this one. Let me see if that person is there on the call in the first place. So anyway, I'm not sharing the name. However, let me have a look. Okay, I think we have. Okay, fine. Let's take another one. So there was this one particular lady, very successful, very good corporate life right now, and very hardworking. Okay, and I was just chatting with her. I mean, we were in a session, and I was having a conversation with her, and I asked her, "What is this one pattern that keeps recurring in your life?" Okay, and she said, "I cannot relax. I cannot sit idle and watch a movie. I cannot go in a vacation and be relaxed." Okay, any of you? Okay, okay, fine, we do have. And I was like, "Why would you not be relaxed?" I said, there is this voice in my head that keeps telling me, you have to go and work hard. You cannot sit idle. Okay? You are wasting your time if you are sitting idle. Any time that you are idle is time wasted. Okay? And so we were like, okay. So I asked her, did you try to work on this before? And she said, yes, I have tried to work on this for many years. I have worked, but I have not been able to get out of this. It is so difficult for me to relax. And she has difficulty sleeping in the night. Also, she sleeps very late in the night because she has to constantly work. And even though she would have done a good job with her office and come, if she has a time for herself, me time, she has to go into guilt. Okay. And then when I asked her, let me, a lot of people are typing in the chat. Okay, cool. So I'll go through that the chat soon. Don't want to get my flow of thought interrupted. So, and I checked with her what happened, and she said, um, my father had a very difficult childhood. Okay, he had to struggle a lot, and my mother also had to struggle in her childhood. She saw her parents struggle a lot. Um, Her mother's mother had cancer, so she had to she could never give time for herself. Right from the childhood, she constantly gave time to her mother, to all the siblings. So she never learned to give time for herself. All her life has been, right now her mother may be, I think, in her 70s, I guess. Okay. Her mother has already devoted her life right from the childhood to her family. She doesn't know of anything else. Okay. Only serving the family has been the one thing that she knows. And her mother also raised her in a way, telling her, you know what, beta, life is a struggle. Okay. And a father, many of her, I think his father, I don't exactly correct, but her father had a difficult childhood. Her extended family didn't support. So they were having a lot of grudge against the relatives and other people. They were of this opinion that um, world is cruel. You cannot trust people. Okay. You can help, you can go ahead and help people, but they can betray you, they can backstab you at any point of time. How many of you have this as your background chatter? Get present. When I'm sharing, just get present to these, whatever is relevant to your life. And then I asked her, okay, fine, what else? And she said, her father would never wanted. So her father always said, "You are my son." She was only daughter. Okay, so father raised her up as a son, and he kept reiterating, okay, that you are a son. And what happened? This person ended up um, uh, taking responsibility of the entire family. Okay, and also her mother, because her mother saw that nobody supported her in their life, in her own life. She said, "You, my daughter, should be self-independent." Okay, so she always had this: you will be self-independent, you will do, you will have no need to be in to be dependent on anybody. Okay, what she ended up, she ended up getting married, getting divorced. Okay, getting married again, and the other husband passed away, then the second husband passed away, and the third marriage, of course, that she's not in married yet. However, that is a space that she was in. Now guess what was she reliving again now? She was reliving what her mom and dad her raised up to believe about herself. Her mom wanted her to be independent. She was independent. Okay. And her father said, no wastage of time. So she cannot ever relax, because every single moment they had worked hard. And her father kept telling her, see, life is difficult. You cannot waste your time. You need to invest all of your time into productive work. Only then you can grow. Okay. And I had this another client, and of course there's an overlap between this multiple, and there's another client who had this thing about um, okay, let's come back to the original one. There is too much of ideas that is coming to me right now, so let me stick with this one track. So in short, what actually occurred was, her she was living what her mother and father raised her to be. So how many of you see the pattern of what your father and mother made you to believe in right from the childhood? Can you perhaps sit back and think, look at the area that you're struggling right now, look at this pattern that you're not able to get out of. Okay, get present to it. If you want, you can keep your eyes closed, or if you want to keep your eyes open, whatever makes you at ease to recollect this. Get a sense of this thing that you are disturbed on an ongoing basis. Hmm? And ask what you bought from your parents that is creating this pattern. Like you bought some idea, like this particular lady couldn't relax because hard work, you have to do hard work. Okay? If you don't work hard, if you don't utilize the time, you have to work each and every minute. Okay? It was not even hard work, like you have to utilize every single minute, no escaping. Okay. So she would, and she was made to feel guilty every time she would be alone, not doing anything. Her mom and dad would punish. They would shout at her. She was made to feel wrong every time she would relax. So what occurs? Basically, body goes. So body, a physical body, it's an amazing system. Body has a brain, okay, and the brain is regulated by central nervous system. The central nervous system has three ways to safeguard the body, okay. And in the earlier occasions, when we were in Stone Age, this used to be of great help. Even now it is. However, it is working against us right now. So clearly understand, and many of you may know this already. When there is a particular threat, when there's a particular danger, okay, like a tiger has spotted, what is required? Either, or whatever, let's say an animal has approached near the cave. Now if they were more in numbers, they may want to be prepared to fight that animal. If they think that they are outnumbered, and if they think they cannot fight, the animal is huge, like for example it's elephant or rhinoceros or a big animal, then they want to run away. Okay, so either the body goes into a fight mode, or body goes into a flight mode. Flight, FLIGST, running. Okay, and fight, resist and fight. On both occasions, body needs extra boost of energy. So brain pumps in, it gives a instruction to the pineal gland and couple of other glands that secretes adrenaline into the bloodstream. so that you have a boost of energy. Okay, because you feel a threat and then you are ready to run. Okay, now what occurs, we have moved away. Okay, we have moved away from the stone age. We may not have real danger and real threat in our life. However, the moment we look at a newspaper, the moment you start reading a newspaper, for example, there is this virus, or there's recession, or there is laying off jobs, or whatever, something that is related to your life, you go into panic. Okay, you go into panic. So there's no real danger, but the adrenaline starts getting pumped. Now you do not have to run here right now. See, it's very, very, like, very practical, makes, like, you can see clearly, but it doesn't still, it works for us, it doesn't work for us at this point of time. Now you don't need this adrenaline intake on a, like, you don't need this adrenaline in your bloodstream, so that you have, because you don't have anything when you have to run, you don't have to run, there's no physical danger, but we still perceive that threat, so your heartbeat would increase. Like, there may be palpitation, you may go, your mind may be going in 100 direction because of this primary mechanism. So please don't be hard on yourself when you experience this. Okay, please don't make yourself, don't go be in a judgment of yourself. Why can't I handle this? Why do I get worried? Why do I get tensed? You get tense, you get worried because of this system that is already in place. Is that clear? Yes. So all of you, everywhere you are making yourself wrong, everywhere you're going into guilt, everywhere you're going to judgment of you for not being able to maintain your emotional balance. How many of you go into wrongness when you're not able to maintain your emotional balance? Tell me. Others, type in the chat me. Okay, cool. What about others? Type in the chat. If you go into this emotional imbalance and you judge yourself, just type in the chat me. Yeah, how much you judge yourself. Already a part of you. We will go a little deeper. I'm sharing the 10th step. There are other steps before that. So, you get it? Yeah. So, me telling you not to go into wrongness, would you stop going into wrongness of you? Would you stop judging just because I told you now? Hmm? Tell me. I gave you good logic. I gave you a good story of how everything functions, right? And you know that it doesn't make sense. However, would you be able to stop yourself from going into wrongness of you? Hmm? Many time I feel anxious when I try to take a nap. I feel scared, palpitation. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the next stage of it. So um, what we explored up until now, we saw that body has two safeguarding mechanism: fight or flight. There is a third one that is called freeze. How many of you feel paralyzed? Not like physically, but you just cannot make yourself go out and do a task. You just cannot go out and do perhaps some big task. You know something needs to be addressed. You know that something gets to be done, but you would just not go there. And again, you will go into wrongness. How many of you feel this? You know you need to take action. You know that what the action, you know that you need to stop doing something, but you cannot do. You are like, nope, you are not able to take any action. You are not able to make any choice. You are almost like immovable. Like immovable, yeah. I get this, brother. So, what is that? Huh? That is freeze mode, okay, where you go into freeze, right? Where you are not feeling that you are capable of handling a situation. So the only way at that point of time is for you to, the body is like, let's shut this person down, okay? Because it's too much for him to be, because then the person is just not able to handle this, okay? Now, fight, flight, and freeze mode are the safeguard mechanism of the body, and we all of us are at the effect of it at different point of time. Yes? Yeah? Now, so this is one part that I wanted to share. The other part, When you are getting disturbed, so let me read from some of you, and so some of you have written a couple of things. Um, Relationship, career, finance. Okay. Stuck, loneliness. So, if I have to ask Manisha, stuck and loneliness. Okay. So, she has written that. Now, normally what occurs is we experience emotionally intensive moments in our childhood. How many of you have events, the moment you think of it, you start getting worried, start getting tense, or your body start getting tensed, or you experience certain emotion coming to the surface, either anger, regret, a fear, feeling scared. So how many of you could think of experiences in your life that you think about, and your body, the biochemistry of your body undergoes a change? How many of you are able to relate to what I'm speaking about? Anyone? Everyone clear with what I'm saying? Okay. So how many of you type in the chat? Let's see. Um, Let me take some volunteer here. Okay. Raise your hands. Who would like to volunteer? I can just ask some question and we can have more clarity. Okay. Let's go with Rutvik. Rutvik has already raised his hand first. Yes, Rutvik.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, couldn't be on video and there is
No,
no light.
no problem. So, Rutvik, what event do you recollect in your life?
Mhm.
Um, that when you think of right now, you go into it brings up something up for you.
Uh, Anxiety, I will go. Means in relationship, like I mentioned also in chat that every time I meet a person, the first meeting is like we are means though we are meeting for the first time, but the conversation will go like we are known for each other for years or something. So we make a plans, all our likings and everything will get matched. So we'll do that kind of conversation will be there, and then after goodbyes and everything, from next day I didn't get any response or messages or something like that. So then I start feeling where I was wrong and what went wrong. Yesterday's conversation was like it's like it's made for each other kind of conversation, and the next day it's like uh, not a response, no response.
Right. So
So this is a repeat
sorry, I'm stopping you. So what emotion do you experience when
loneliness only.
fantastic. Now, if I have to ask you, when else you felt lonely before, the first time? If you could
That
recollect from your life.
when I listen the stories of my friends, so they are getting girlfriend or something like that.
No,
That time I
that's so fine. That is an outside event. I want you to go back into your life and to think of your life event. Uh,
uh-huh.
um, when you felt lonely before in your life, the earliest memory that you can think of.
Earliest memory maybe in past 2 years or something. It's not exact event like that. But,
So I would ask you to go back into your childhood. Where
uh-huh.
did you experience this emotion of loneliness when as a child, at any point of time?
Mm, not as a childhood, but in teenage we can say after
Yeah, fine. So tell me,
yeah,
the age.
age from let's say 19, no 19 onwards.
Okay, cool, fine. And if you actually, so if I have to ask you what event happened, is
Mhm.
that too private to describe, or you can share?
I can share, no worries.
Go ahead and share. I mean, I just want to. I'm not doing an actual session, but I'm using to explain to others so that
Mhm.
they can try to see and look it for themselves. Okay, so this is an example of how you can check. Yes, Ritu, go ahead.
Yeah. So the event was like same as a romantic relationship. The girl I met in one of the group. We used to chat every day. We used to call on every day.
I'm
And
stopping you real quick. I want
uh,
you to go to the exact date, the event
uh,
that actually made you feel lonely. So I get it. So we are not getting the story. We know that it is around relationship. So since
exact date, not date exactly, but year you can say 2008 or something.
perfect. I want you to think of the event that occurred with this
Mhm,
particular person that made you feel lonely. Like one, the first time,
mhm.
or the most intense of the occasion. When was it? And what happened?
When I saw that girl with another guy and I want to confront her, and she was like, "Who the hell are you to ask me?" and kind of
Uh,
something,
cool.
and she broke my heart.
Great.
So
And what you felt, what was the decision that you made, like unconsciously? What was the thought that came to you when this occurred? Like
uh,
we are uncovering the underlying belief that we form. So what did you decide about relationship and about getting into relationship or about loving a girl? What is the opinion that you formed with this experience?
the fear is there now every time when I enter in a relationship or want to enter in a relationship, that what if
Ritik,
this girl
sorry,
also cheat?
I'm sorry. I am actually asking you
Uh,
that when this event occurred specifically
uh-huh.
on that
uh,
particular day when this girl said this to you, what were you
mhm.
telling to yourself about relationship? Like, how can she do this? Or we cannot
Yeah.
trust people. People can be something at some time and they can turn around. What did you tell here and what did you decide about relationship?
In relationship, I decided like I cannot trust any girl
There you go.
easily.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. So thanks, Ritvik. That's good enough for me. I just wanted people to get a sense of this experience. So thank you. We will. Uh, is is there any other decision that you made? Any other belief that you made apart from this? You cannot trust a girl and anything else about relationship in general.
No, that is the main
Perfect.
aspect,
Cool.
that I cannot trust in terms of loyalty in
Great.
on any girl.
Cool. Did this event, this uh, uh, situation reoccur in your life again, where you found someone else and then this
Yes,
cool? How
same
many times?
2 times. I mean, whatever I shared is first one, and after almost 6 or 8 years, I again tried to enter, and same thing happened.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you so much, Ritvik. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing it. And that's good enough for me. Okay. Is it okay if we don't go further? And I would like to elaborate and explain
Yeah,
more.
yeah, no problem.
Guys, so if you actually look at it, um, this is where one can go into freeze mode. Okay. If Ritvik could still go ahead and go and meet people or meet new people. So initially we go into freeze mode. Okay, where we do not want to try it again because somewhere the body perceives this as unsafe to venture into relationship because relationship is equal to pain. Relationship is equal to um, um, betrayal. A relationship is equal to ultimately you'll feel lonely or you will be made to feel lonely. So we form some association with different things in our life. Emotionally, the body stores this memory, and 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 because of this, so what I call this is called Prachi. I'm coming to you. I'm just making certain points, and then we will take an example if required. There is something called every event when it occurs, it leaves something behind, especially intense events. Okay, everybody understand intense events, intense emotional events where you really had a very bad breakup or bad insult or bad shock, grief, losing someone, losing your business, finding someone doing something that you didn't expect. Like those are a moment of shock for you, for your body and for your being. So every event leaves something behind, and I call that as charge. CH, type in the chat. CHARGE. Okay. We also do something called FCD, fundamental childhood decisions. When we do this, intense emotional events, INTEN, understand? Intense emotional events. When intense emotional events occur, okay, we end up making some decisions which are not based on logic. It doesn't make sense, but we still make it, and those decisions starts running our life. Okay, how many of you are able to relate to this? Like in Rutvik case, going out and approaching a girl or making a friendship is considered as a threat at some level. Okay, so he will avoid, and then after a point, he will get very frustrated, and then the frustration of not having anyone becomes more painful than facing rejection. Okay, so rejection is at pain 10, um, and so the person, he is want to avoid that, because rejection, if he gets into relationship, he will get rejection, so he wants to avoid, so he will avoid till a point will come where the pain of avoidance, not having anyone, the loneliness increase so much, it goes to 12. Okay, and this is at 10, avoidance is 10. Okay, this rejection is 10, so this is more painful and this is less painful, so they will again go and approach when, when even when this is painful but it's less painful than what you are currently, and then again it reoccurs. Okay, I don't know if that helped you to get a clarity with this. So what we do is we have the sense of association with different things in our life, with money, with people, with showing up. Okay, and what gets stored is charge. So we make decisions, and every decision has a charge. Now, what is a charge? Let me give a classic example. Ankita and Prachi, you may have to hold on. Okay, I'm in a flow, and then I will take up if we require. Um, so if you have a question, you can definitely keep it raised. So what occurs is, yeah, so this particular lady was so afraid of flight. Okay, oh my God. So yeah, let's say, so there was this other lady who couldn't go into lift. She used to live in Mumbai. She used to climb stairs, 20 to 30 stairs. She used to climb stairs, not take a lift. Why? What happened? In the childhood, when she was 9 years old, she, along with her parents, came down from the lift, and they forgot something. So they sent this. So there was a younger daughter and elder daughter. The eldest daughter was sent upstairs to get this missing thing. And while she was returning back, line went off. She got stuck in the lift alone, and she couldn't get out of. They couldn't get her out of the lift for almost 20 minutes. Just imagine, closed chamber, and this is way back, when there were not much lights also in the lift, even when it's were closed. So she was terrified. Now she has a fear of, she cannot sleep alone, she cannot go into a tiny room, like a small room she cannot enter, because there's a intense phobia, intense fear that she has, and she cannot get into a lift. The moment she gets into lift, she gets panic attack. This is a classic example of a huge charge, a trauma that gets stored in the body. So this can be very intense. For some of us, we may not have experienced this level of intense emotion. Okay, but we do have our own of very painful stuff going on at that point of time. Okay, not to this degree, but to other degree, which is equally painful. That gets stored in the body. That is what I call it as a charge. And when this charge is like a coal, that it's like a burning coal. If a coal is burning, you can see it's red hot. When it doesn't get sufficient air, the coal becomes very, very hot. So when the coal is burning, you can see it's red hot. When it doesn't get sufficient air, the coal becomes very, very cold. So when the coal is burning, you can see it's red hot. When the coal is burning, you can see it's red hot. When the coal is burning, you can see it's red hot. it kinds of looks like that it has calmed down, that it is not burning. Okay, the moment again when you blow air, it again becomes red hot. So you think with passage of time, this wound has got healed. But when you enter into similar atmosphere that reminds you of something, you again the body experiences all of those. How many of you have something going on like this? Type in the chat me. Like where you actually experience this, like, where a part of you gets terrified when you go into an atmosphere, when you go into certain, uh, uh, situation or around people. Yeah. So what is this? This is nothing but a charge. Now, many time, I mean, many of you are from Axis here, and anyone who's anyway, I mean, it's not that important. So I was wondering that everybody used to say that everything is a choice. Yeah. And I was asking, if everything is a choice, then why are we choosing drama and trauma and fear? Why can't we move out? If everything was a choice, why can't I break and stop doing something that is not working for me? Why I'm still doing certain thing, and why do people still do things in spite of knowing? Like how many of you know a lot of things, but you are that is not sufficient to break. So for example, you know a lot of things how you should be healthy, right? You should exercise, you should eat proper food. Okay, you should not watch a lot of things and torture your body. But how many of us are able to do that? Tell me. We keep doing a lot of things against us. We keep again saying something that you should not say, or you should not do something, but you end up doing, or you know that you should do something, but you don't do it. So, knowing is not a problem. Please know this. You may have information, you may have knowledge. YouTube is filled with various stuff. What is missing? What is missing is this charge has been unresolved. So, emotions that have not been addressed, okay, these are called unresolved emotions. And in our life, right from a childhood, if you actually trace back our childhood, we had so many events occurring in our life where you felt very angry, where you felt like you can almost kill somebody. Like in our childhood, how many of you were like thrashed by your parents left, right, and center, or by your teacher, or by your friends, and you felt so helpless at that point of time. Like I still remember when I grow up, I will thrash this person. Okay, like we have those unresolved stuff, though we would have forgotten that over a period of time, because there's this long-term memory, like the mind kinds of blurs the memory, keeps a program, okay, but takes away the memory of it many times because it's too much for you to handle. So what occurs is the charge, these unresolved emotion keeps piling up. Yes, they keep piling up, and we keep experiencing this charge is what allows us. What are these charges? These charges are nothing but wounds. Okay, wounds, wounds. Now tell me, if you have a wound in your hand, okay, and somebody just touches it, what do? Your instant reaction, you move away, yes or no? Right? Now, how many of us have people who come into our life, they push some button and you get triggered? Daily basis, you have your family members. You don't need any enemies for that. Yeah, or your friends, or you go into a business meet, or your friends, where you have some family get together, relatives. Yes, mostly with people, exactly. Yeah. So we have these situations where that keeps reminding us, and we keep experiencing. Yeah, this thing, because there's a wound. So you want to either shut down that person, or you run away from that person, because there is this wound that has not been healed. How many of you get this? So we have a lot of wounds, lot of different wounds that has not been healed. That is why we get triggered in the first place. You see, some people, no, some people don't seem to get irritated with some behavior, but you seem to be getting irritated with certain behavior of certain people. Yes or no? Yeah. Like some event can, like if you watch certain news, you may get terrified with it because it reminds you of something that you have a memory of, or something that you don't have a memory of, but it just gets you to a space of panic or a very cautious high alert mode. Yeah. So what is required is this charge that is there, it needs to get combustion totally. The coal, what happens, it is never completely experienced. Okay. Yes, Aparna. How to? Yeah, it happens a lot, and how to get rid of it exactly. So this call is not something as a solution, but more of an awareness of where you are, how you are getting triggered, how you constantly keep experiencing some emotions again. So at this point, we are still looking at emotion. We are not looking into the pattern of life. We'll go there. Okay, we are emotion. So there is this emotion when you go into certain situation. For example, for me, um, one of the thing that I get is if I have to speak in public in front of people, okay, I would get terrified. Okay, I would just not be able to speak. I will just freeze. Okay, because there were time when I spoke and people made fun of me because I couldn't speak properly and they made fun of me. So I felt insulted. This happened in school. When you want to ask a question and then you fumble and then everybody starts laughing at you, and that becomes so much of, like, it may not be big issue, but for a child of that age it is a traumatic experience. So we have stored a lot of different traumatic experience with us. We are still carrying it. We may not have a memory of it, but that age, that part of you that felt traumatic, that felt helpless, that felt insulted, that part of you is still holding on to that charge. This feeling of I am not good enough, this feeling of I cannot trust myself, this sense of I cannot speak if in front of others I may fumble, like I cannot be trusted. There was this one particular girl. See how silly it can be. So her father, this girl around 6 7 years said, "Father, I want to have ice cream." Said, and the father says, "Okay, fine, have this 10 rupees and get one for me too." Okay. She happily goes, la 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 la. She goes, and there is this thela wala bhaiya who stands outside their society, and she goes and gives this amount and gets a two ice cream. And one of her friend comes by on the way, and her friend says hi, say hi, and like, what are you like? You are having ice cream? Yes, I would like to also have it. Can I have this ice cream, please? And she thinks of, please, please, can you give me? And like, okay, fine. She gives, and her friend eats, and she's very happy. They both ate very well, like they both happy, they chit chatted, and she went on went to meet her father. And then when her father sees her that she has almost eaten half of the ice cream, and the other ice cream is not even there, and she asks, what happened to the other ice cream? She said, I had one of my friend met me on the way, and I gave this ice cream to her. And a father is like, I cannot ever trust you with money. You cannot be trusted with money. That is a statement a father made. Now, what happened? This lady, um, she went on to become a designer, and and she reached a very top position. She was earning almost like 3.5 to 4 lakh of rupees per month. Okay. What would happen? She would have her fund manager investing the amount into stocks, and she would make a wonderful profit. By the end of the year, she would lose all of it. Like, it has been the third or fourth year. And when I was doing this one-to-one session with her, I was like, what event happened? And so there was this another event that occurred, and this is what she was narrating. This, there was another event. She said, there was this birthday, I had my birthday, and everybody was celebrating, and there was this one uncle who was, they were having conversation, adult talks, they were having some conversation. So there was this one uncle whom she used to look up to. This uncle said, you should never invest in trading, or you should never invest in plots. That is a what was the word she used? She said that is gambling, and people who gamble are bad people. Okay, now that got stuck with her. So when she gets a lot of money, what is the reminder? You are a gambler. You are a bad person if you invest in this. So she was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to be a bad person. Let me just get away with this money." And see, it's so silly and so doesn't make sense, but still, we create situations in our life. We invite people into our life who would make silly decisions on behalf of us, and we end up going into experiencing this. So we keep having this. So this is where I'm asking you to get present to the patterns. Okay, a significant person of a family member, especially mainly a father or a fatherly figure or a teacher whom you adore or your guru, if they made certain statement, okay, even though that may not make sense to you right now, but emotionally that is what is true, and that program is still learning our life. Yeah. So yeah, let me just complete this and then I'll go with Prachi and Ankita. So what actually occurs is this wound doesn't get healed, okay, and you kind of cover it up with bandage time again and again. However, it keeps resurfacing, and you keep re-experiencing this again and again, and until it is healed. So unless and until this part of you, this I call this as, so we have a lot of personalities within us. Like we are not one person. If you draw a timeline, there is a different age group you had these experiences. That part of you is energetically alive. A part of you still feeling unsupported. A part of you still is feeling abandoned. A part of you is still felt threatened with life, threatened with situations and people. So there are these different parts of us who keep experiencing different emotions because of those unresolved emotion. And when you experience this emotion, is actually this part of you is calling for your attention. Please help me heal this. Pay attention to this event. What we do, okay, we either try to forget that, we watch movie, we go out with friends, we drink, we do something else, we get into some kind of addiction. So we push away this feeling, we push away this emotion. How many of you have been pushing away your emotions again and again, telling that why it is coming back again and again? I don't want to experience this emotion. Now, who is experiencing this emotion? A part of you, your inner child, if I have to call you a different, your energetic replica. The easiest word that I can get is your child. Like we have part of us in our childhood that has not been healed. Okay, yes, Vedanti. So okay, so we have this child within us who is asking for help, who is feeling insecure, who is asking for attention. But what we keep doing, keep trying to push away. So that is why if you actually look at today's world, 90% of the disease people are experiencing is because of psychosomatic illness. It is proven with science. It's because of the stress. It's because of the recurring pattern. Okay. I personally know a lot of people who created problem in their life, cancer, arthritis, BP, sugar, because their father and mother had this, and somewhere they were told it is there in the bloodline and it will pass on to them also. So more than genetic, it becomes a psychosomatic because you bought that from them. And these things cannot be explained. The charge needs to go away. And the pattern reoccurs, a health pattern reoccurs, and a relationship pattern reoccurs. Okay, so cool. So at least with this discussion, you are at least clear that if you are going to experience an emotion, please don't try to push away. Get present to an event. Some of you would have experienced, those who are in access, some of you would have experienced this. Dane asked, what age were you? Like, what do you get? Because that is the age when something occurred that, because that is driving that person still now, till now. Okay. So basically, the wounds of our inner child have not been healed, the unresolved emotions. So what needs to occur is these inner child, this part of us who is asking for help, they need to be listened to, addressed, and whatever emotions that they are experiencing, the helplessness, the sense of abandonment, the hopelessness, um, that needs to be released from them. They would have formed some belief system about life that is running you. Once they release that emotion, they feel empowered. That is when they are ready to make a new belief, and then your life pattern changes. That is where your destiny changes. When this past belief systems that you have created as a child, when you reframe it, when you release it, not just change it logically, but really releasing it, because that is when the body feels safe enough now. Okay, the body feels safe enough to experience. So ultimately, like, a lot of people are into judgment of others, people who wrong them, brothers, family members, because they did something wrong. But ultimately, all the people out there who are doing all the corruption, who are cheating, who are doing, what are they experiencing at the depth? A person who is feeling very jealousy, tell me, what are they experiencing at the core of their being? Tell me. Type in the chat what emotion they may be experiencing when they are, when they want to steal things from you. Unworthiness, exactly. Lack. They feel unworthy. They don't feel that they are good enough. Okay. They feel insecure. Okay. They feel life is unfair. So ultimately, deep down, every single person who is either doing wrong or you think is doing wrong is experiencing, is asking out for help. And that is where their action is emerging. That's why people are not equal to the behavior. But we try to label someone. Oh, this person is like this. No, a part of them is feeling something and they are not empowered. Once that part of them gets empowered, then they can be free. Okay, they can tackle it and handle it. Now, um we are already, it's 8:30. Let me, so Ritu, Ankita, and Prachi, you have your hands raised. Is that question that you have, or is that a sharing? How many of you have question with regards to what we have spoken? If you have question, then continue. Okay, Ankita saying question. What about other two? So Ankita, we had Prachi also. Prachi, is it question? And Ritu, is it a question? Please type yes if it is a question. And just type no if it is not. Okay, it's sharing. Okay, we can wait for sharing for a while. If you have a question, then I would go for a question first. Okay, because I have something else I would like to cover before we close the call. I need to close the call by in next 15-20 minutes. So question, Prachi, I'm sorry, I'm sharing. I will take it later if you have time. So let's go with Ankita first. Ritu, you have not typed in. Is it a question or is that? So Ankita, just unmute and
Yeah, thank you so much, Swami, and
okay.
wonderful conversation because somewhere it came into my awareness. I have to go and join your call. So my question is, Swami, how we can, differentiate between the childhood trauma we have taken it. Like one is we perceive from the environment, whether it is actually our perception or our own, knowing. So there is a difference between, the what we take from our parents and what we have already inbuilt. Like, for example, if we have a money pattern, relationship pattern, most of the time we BMM our parents' realities, and there are few traits which we have already within ourselves. So, how we can segregate and how we can identify whether it is ours or we have taken it from parents.
The thing is, you always take it from others. You don't create it by yourself in the first place. Anything that you experience, you have not come down on this earth with the experiences already. We all buy into from other people. So everything is from outside only. Like everything is that what we see. So we buy things from three way. One, what we see, what we hear, what our parents were speaking. So even when we are in the womb, when the parents and mother and father, when they are discussing about, for example, like I have been working with this one lady who kept feeling that she's lonely, and when she would die, she would not have anyone. Okay, and what actually occurred was her father was not really financially um, earning a good amount of money, and they were not sure whether they were able to give support their daughter. So they were thinking of abortion. Now this baby which was already there, it could listen, right? Like The moment the consciousness comes, it registers everything, okay? Whether or
Yeah.
not it is having physical ears or not, it can send. So they have, so already she feels a sense of rejection there, but it is not because she doesn't understand why. She just, that baby can only know that the parents don't want her right now. They would not go into why they didn't want. They're not the logic of it. That's the emotion of it. Okay, and they can experience, and then they can carry it with them till the time it is addressed, it is released, and it is healed.
So,
So,
Swami, I have an
sorry,
example
sorry,
for
just
this.
1 minute,
Sorry.
1 minute, 1
Yeah.
minute. So, addressing your question. So, if I get it correct, I think you are asking something, and I'm getting it. However, this thing that I'm getting it is everything that we buy is from others. We see, we hear, we see, and we experience ourselves. Okay, and though it's mimicking, but it is someone else, and you buy it from them, and that is how you mimic. Okay, and I still don't get it when you say you perceive. What do you actually mean? You are looking, and you are learning from others, your life experience and others, and you make it as your own, and that becomes yours. So what is the
So,
other part that you are referring to?
yes. Yes. So, what I'm thinking is perceiving and experiencing, right? So, perceiving is what you are actually perceiving. And for example, I'm specifically talking about a specific example in my life, which used to be a pattern in terms of finances. So, I have been, from a very good financial background, although my parents were always in the lack.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happened is when I talk about my own financial reality, I have been working on a very good positions with a very good salary, and now I run my own business. Now, interestingly, Swami, what happened is uh, sometimes I go into the lack and creating the pattern where I have to actually only in my mind I'm thinking that there is a lack, although it is not. So my again the question is perceiving things and experiencing. And I have a childhood experience also where my mom normally said no for something, and her 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 intention was not to say no, because that time she was not carrying that much cash, although there was definitely not lack of money. I perceived this as lack of money.
Correct.
So yes. So
So it,
how can, yes. So now
it
you
doesn't
got
it
it.
doesn't
Yes.
matter whether it is actually happened. What matters is how you perceived. It doesn't matter what is really going on. The meaning that you decided here, that is what remains, and that is what is true for you. That is what governs our life. So even mom is saying no for some other reason, but in your head, if the story that you are telling to yourself is, if I ask mom, mom is going to say no, or I have to ask through to 3, 4, 5 times, only then I'm going to get a yes. Whether you're perceiving, whether you're experiencing, it doesn't, like, whether it's actually happening or whether you're perceiving, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, your experience is what the story that you are telling here in the head is, what is your experience. Is that helpful?
Yes. And so that means, Swami, the minute we catch hold of that story, we have to change the story. Simple.
Yeah. If you know a way to change the story, great. You cannot really change the story because the story is real for you at that point of time. It cannot be a logical conclusion. The emotional part of it, we need to really, if you know a way, then well and good. Okay. However, um, if you have a very powerful realization, that can also shift things. There are a lot of different approaches. Okay, but if you have any approach by which, so you cannot logically explain away what has occurred because it is emotionally connected. Okay, so that is, again, that is called charge. Again, that's what I would call it as a charge. That charge needs to be removed, so that you start feeling safe again. And once you start feeling safe again, then you can change the story. Then you are ready to shift. Otherwise, you're not ready. That's why a lot of people cannot listen to the advice. It doesn't work for them because it is what they're experiencing is real. When somebody asks, I'm experiencing fear, like, who does it belong to? Return back to sender. If they are doing it multiple times and if it doesn't work, then it is real for them. Okay. So what is real for them is what we need to take it on a face value and need to be addressed. Okay.
Thank you so much, Swami.
You're welcome. And to conclude, I'm coming to Ritu and Prachi after this. Uh, I personally have began this, so I have been trained to heal our past wounds. Okay, the inner child, whatever pattern, the belief that we have stored, father wounds, mother wounds, sister wounds, whatever different kind of wounds. And I do this on a one-on-one because every single person is very different. Okay, any one of you who are experiencing, I am happy to have a free chat with them. We can have one round of, let's say, a free consultation call where I can explain a couple of things specifically. And I have kind of come up with my own version because I've learned so many different things, so many different approaches, how to help other person to get out of it. It is not about me teaching you something. It is directly going to that particular experience, and that sense of helplessness, that sense of abandonment, that sense of whatever that fear, whatever was experienced, releasing it there, like through some intervention, through something that I will do, we release it, and then we empower that part of you that felt disempowered. So you and me will go travel together in time and find that area of your life where this pattern, the seed of this pattern has been sown the first time. It can be in the womb, it can be in the past life, it can be in this life, it can be anywhere. So we move through timeline, different time, and we look at different event, the intense emotional event, and we release that, and we empower that, and we change the belief, and we do a couple of other things so that uh, energetically, that part of you, the past part of you that was asking for help, that was feeling helpless, is empowered right now. So you are by your own. There is no one influencing you constantly. Right now, we are being constantly influenced by our past self. Okay, so yeah, you are welcome. So I'm choosing to have 20 slots, 21 to 1 slots. We may have a call of around like 20 minutes to half 20 minutes. Okay, so you can reach out to me. Perhaps you can type in the chat, in the group, in the WhatsApp group. You can type in if you would like to have your consultation, and then we can book a slot, and I can go ahead and explain to you what is my approach, what do I do, and then you can see if it is something that you would like to go ahead and work. Okay, cool. Yes, Ritu, Prachi. Let's go with Prachi first, because Prachi had been keeping us range, and then Ritu can go.
Hello.
Hi, Prachi. Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to share on the similar lines of, the female story, what you have shared earlier, that her parents made her to believe that she needs to work hard all the time, and I have been through the same this conditioning since childhood, that I was made to. My father treated me as son always, always. He was always like, you need to do this, do that, and so ultimately, if I'm not able to do that, do probably achieve 90% or something. I was a bright child, but still sometimes, if I'm getting say 94 instead of 98, then he would make me feel that, you're wrong, you're good for nothing, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing time pass and things like that. So I was always made to believe that I'm not good enough, I'm not, worthy of their love and affection. And it reflects even today that many times I have to like, I have to like slap myself and, made to feel, I do a lot of, self-talk, and I tell myself always that, you deserve this, you need to, think that you deserve this, and uh, it's okay to fail sometimes, it's okay to, whenever you're taking, some important decision. What happens is, if we are not believing in ourselves or our worthiness, we tend to settle for lesser than what we actually deserve,
Totally. Yes.
right? So what happens is, this um creates a lot, you know, more and more of negative emotions that, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that. So it creates a lot of pressure and burden on us that, we are good for nothing. And that's like an infinite loop
Yep.
that
And continue for
the
life.
same thing makes us, yes, that the same failure or, the burden makes us believe that I don't deserve this. So that is like infinite loop, and I feel like getting out of that loop. So sometimes I feel like slapping myself, and I want to feel that I'm worthy of that, and I'm not. Even if I'm wrong, it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to take some bad decisions in life, and you don't have to, settle for whatever is in front of you, than to wait, because you always think that this decision might go wrong. Do I deserve this? Do I you know do I want to wait for another option, or do I want to leave this order that that I'm getting in lesser money, and probably I probably have, there is another order waiting for me which will give me more profit and more within the same energy and effort that I'm doing. So once again, the question is always there, whether I deserve this and whether I deserve to it always makes me work harder and harder, and it's like it's exhausting, and it's I get worked up all the time that I always go in fight mode. I don't go in flight mode at all, and so I ended up working hard, and it I'm feel exhausted end of the day, and I'm not content at all, even if I'm getting a lot of orders and money is coming in and everything. I'm not happy, and I'm not enjoying that money, and I'm not enjoying the time for myself. And I always keep on thinking, how can I do better? How can I do something else which will give me more profits and things like that. So it is always working hard is the main priority. I just cannot relax. So
Yes.
fight is the only response that I get all the time.
Yep.
So yeah,
Classic
so
story
this
of most of the people. It's just the content is different, but context is almost same, where we
true.
keep doing this. And as long as this part of you has not been addressed, that still feels that if you, because as a daughter, you want to not, you want to always have an approval of your father. So if you don't believe in what, if you don't follow right now what he's saying, it means you are a bad daughter. So it's a very conflictual thing, you don't get it, doesn't come across on the surface, but it's very hideous, where the opposite, you will not want to do it, because then it means that you are a bad daughter, you are someone who defies father. So there is a lot of twisted way, the truth and the lie, they get twisted with each other. And
Even today, we question ourselves that during childhood our world revolves around our parents, so they are always right. They are 100% correct. Whatever they say is 100% truth. So if they are saying you are a bad daughter, that means you are a bad daughter. So there's no question about it. There's no doubt about it. So even today, we feel that they were always right, because they are our parents, and we cannot question their judgment. We just don't have that right to question their judgment.
true. Yep. And that is where we keep on going in a loop. Some people struggle for years and years together, some people struggle for a lifetime. And unless and until this part of it doesn't get healed, the core belief system and the core wound, that part of you doesn't feel safe enough to be okay with not following what father had actually told, unless until that part of you doesn't, like the younger you, not the present you. The present you is adult, the younger you is still younger, it is still makes emotional decision, it still wants to have the approval of the father. So it will still continue to resist you, even though you may logically want to like slap yourself and choose for yourself, but that anger you would resist. Like, how can you do it? This is betraying your father. This is going. So there are so many stories that it can cook up, right? So we need to really give it a real sense of direction, and support her, and it is very possible. It's very, like, I have so many different cases of people who couldn't get into relationship, people who had, so one-to-one sessions, so these are all one-to-one session. And personally, um, I would not say these are quick fixes. We have been accumulating this for years together. In even previous lifetimes, we bring it from previous lifetimes as well. We don't go too much into previous lifetime because there is too much already in this lifetime that is creating this. So we, even if we can handle this lifetime, the memory of this, still a lot of things gets addressed. Okay. So yeah, and there are different levels and different depths at, like as I was talking about this particular girl of the mother wanted to abort, and the girl felt unwanted. Yeah, so what actually happened was she had a sibling, and she always felt that her sibling was taken more care than her, and she always felt that the father and mother always partial. No amount of explanation of the father and mother, no amount of care, no amount of gift would get that feeling of abandonment go, because she felt unwanted one point of time, and that is what is sticking. Whatever the parents would do, still that feeling is so real, she cannot just push away that feeling. See the level of helplessness that one can perceive, right? So it is not kind at all, even for that particular person, to make herself wrong, because logically they are doing, and that's what we do, right? We try to explain the emotion. Arey, see, your father and mother are actually taking care of you. See, they have done this, they have done that, they have done that, and still inside you cannot let go of this. Why? Because there is this part of you that is still stuck at that. That is where we are stuck in that time and that reality, and then we are still functioning from there. And unless someone facilitates us to go there, really, exactly that event, and empowers us and shifts us, and gives you a new perception, an empowering perception, so that you are able to handle that situation. We are not trying to change the history. History cannot be changed. The past cannot be changed. However, you can definitely go and equip that inner child. Like the inner child felt lonely, it needed trust. You can give it a resource of trust. You can equip it with hope. You can equip that inner child with some new sense of wisdom, which she didn't had access to then. And who is doing it? You are going to do it. I'm going to be there along with it, but we both are going to go ahead and address a different inner child, a different part, heal that part and change that part, and no long, and that program changes. Now that pattern stops in your life then, because now no longer that is influencing you. Yeah. So yes, please. I'm just typing in the chat here. This is something that I wanted to enter this in the WhatsApp group, not here. And I would just take the first 10 or first 20, because I have a couple of classes lined up. I don't know how many sessions I can have, but at least let's go with top 10 at least. Type this and write your name in the WhatsApp group. Okay, and then we can have a one-to-one call and see where it goes. Yeah, cool. Riti, you wanted to say something? Yes. And then Gaurav.
So very interestingly, Swami, which you mentioned just now, relationship. So my mom has said in some godforsaken conversation or something to me at some age that you cannot do relationship. And it just comes to my mind. It's not that I don't have this thing, but and in lot of lot of aspects, I have made relationships which have helped me through and through a lot through years. But when it comes to my intimate personal relationship, that's where it's all fucked up.
Yeah, because that is where it is there. It's not about relationship. So relationship is still a generic thing. It is specific about relationship. And even feeling good, it's not about you not feeling good. You are not feeling good in what? So specifically in certain areas, we do not feel good. So there are this
Correct.
specific aspect, but we try to generalize it. But it is not like I'm not good enough. It's not like I'm not good enough in anything. It is I'm not good enough in specific thing. And we go back and trace, then you can find certain event that from where it is arising, and that could be
So,
addressed.
so very interestingly, when I'm just telling you this, I somehow get the energy that probably that time she was not in a great space with my father.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the who was the taker for it was me, because she could voice it to me. So it's like a, you know how you are angry and you spurt it out.
Yep.
When you are not the one, means you are the one who's actually the one who cannot have it, and you just like with that anger and revenge thing, so you spurt it out to the child. It's like that. I just got that feeling that when I told you that, it was not me, it was her god forsaken, her truth, and which she spoke out, and
Yeah, yeah.
and, and I just got it. I just took it lock, stock, and barrel into my world.
Yeah, because as a child we don't have logic, right? We experience what everyone else experiences. What they say is true for us. There is no filter between it is their reality or our reality. We buy into everything that we see, everything that is being spoken between the parents, we buy into as ours. And then it gets locked up. And then we cannot change it. We even forget with time about the memory of that. And so we need to go back to that time and re-experience and then change. So yeah, we cannot change that from now. Like you cannot logically explain to yourself now by telling yourself, oh, wake up or be present. Doesn't work. It may have worked for some people for some time, but again, if it does not work to the core, you again go back into the same loop again. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, thank you. So I'll have to switch to Garo because we just have
Yep.
5 minutes. I
No
have a book
worries.
club at
Thank
9 o'clock.
you.
Yes, and you can type in the group. So we may have some more calls. Let's see on this, or I'm not sure. But yeah, that is something that I have. Uh, I'm helping a couple of people with this, and I'm just taking limited people. I'm not having much scope slots as well. Like I have some 4 or 5 to 6 people only I can take over a period of next couple of months. So let's see. We'll have this one-to-one free consultation. I will share more information. So those who are really keen, please know this is definitely a paid sessions. These are going to be one-to-one sessions. How much, what it is, how long, all on the personal call, because it is going to be customized for you after I listen to your story. So if you feel something this you would like to explore what it is, to know more about what it is, you are welcome to book a session with me. Yeah, I've already posted
Okay.
the WhatsApp group. Just type in your name there. Yes, Gaurav, you got a question?
Yeah, actually, my question is like my story, so I will not go into the story. It's simple. The thing is that like I'm facing some kind of uh, um, situation experience that is not kind, nurturing. So my question here is like, will this inner child healing, like if I heal my inner child, because I know for sure 120% I had a very bad childhood. So will this help me change the situation, the experiences that I'm facing right
Yeah,
now in my
well,
adulthood?
I cannot say that what you are experiencing currently is related with this inner child. So I cannot tell you whether healing the inner child is going to change this experience, what you're experiencing right now. However,
Mm.
as you continue to heal the unhealed part of you, your life starts changing. There is no guarantee with anything. However, the one guarantee that you can experience for yourself is the way you feel about it. You would not feel this emotion again. You will not go into panic again. You will not go into this emotion So that itself is a reflection of the healing has taken place or not. Okay, because when you sense a difference here, by default, it is going to reflect in your life with time.
Like, what I'm basically trying to put here is, like, if I'm attracting a certain kind of people, I would not label that.
Yes, absolutely. This is where
So
there is a
I
part
believe
of you.
I
There is a part
believe
of
it
you.
will, because somewhere down the line, okay, I'm not getting in that.
Mhm.
So let's see. I have booked the call. Let's see. We'll uh, consult over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But however, to just give an answer to this, yeah, we attract people and we attract things because we need to heal this part of ourselves. And till the time, it's simple. If you are not getting a pass certificate in your result, it is your learning is not yet complete. What you need to receive from that event is not complete yet. So you will keep coming to the same class again and again. Okay. So and It is not that you as a being have to learn something, but you have decided that you'll have to learn something. We are all infinite beings. We don't need any learning. However, we are not living our life as though we are infinite being. We are living as if we are a finite being. So as long as we are functioning, those rule doesn't apply here. So many people, try to find it logic. Oh, we are infinite beings. Do we need protection? Do we need do we need healing? Do we need saving? The thing is, we by our nature may be infinite being, but we are not living that. We are living 1% of it. 19% we are living as a limited version of ourselves. We are all God in a way, but we are a God who doesn't know that we are a God. So by default, you have to be at the effect of human reality and all the drama and trauma. And unless and until you learn, realize, and come to recognition and own and claim, these rules will still apply, and those rules will not apply. Those rules. So there are different rules for people who know that they are infinite, who live as if they are infinite, and people who do not see that they are infinite being. They are like finite being. They are humans, and they consider part of human reality. Struggle is a part of their life. So for them, different rule applies, and that's why even when they try to use certain tools here, it doesn't work for them, because they certain different rule, like when, so there is something called, like, there is a two philosophy. One is like karma. Okay, I'm not going again too much. So for some people karma is there, for some people karma is not there. Okay, the people don't have had the effect of karma. The people who do not have the effect of karma are the people who recognize and who know that they are not the doer. They are not doing anything. Things are happening through them. They can see this. So when they are living this experience that they are not the doer, by default, their thoughts and their actions are not theirs. So their action, whether right action, wrong action, they don't have to be at the personal receiving end, because they know that it is happening through them. For them, karma is not there. But for those who recognize that, oh, there is someone called me and I am the doer, for them karma applies. Okay, so but when we get to know, oh, karma is not there, but you are still functioning as if you as a self exists, then by default those rules and those laws will not be applicable to you. So yeah, a lot of things can look contradictory, but they are not. They are just following the higher laws and more deeper sense. And I had my own share of conflict and confusion, and I had been searching for answers so that I can have a sense of clarity with how to make sense of all of this, how to still navigate through life, support myself, support others, and I have found some amazing mentors who have taught me a lot of things, and I have undergone certain learning, certain skill to help others to get out of it. And here I am, um, in front of you right now, and I'm going to be doing. This is what my recent calling has been to. Because for me myself, I had been going through some of the thing that I have that has been, in spite of all the tools that I had, there were some patterns that I was not able to change. I changed for a while, and then again I got back into the same loop, and I was like, what just happened? I made the change, I made different choices, things were phenomenal, and what happened again? And that's when I got present. When I started asking more questions, I got present to these different factors that I've been dismissing, that I were not becoming present to. And when I started healing this part of me, when I like, I personally have hired a coach who works on me, like we meet weekly and I work, and we have been able to address certain aspect of it. I was like, oh my goodness, I thought I was completely healed. Like I kind of felt that that is no longer having control. And I was like, no, it is still, if you are experiencing some recurring pattern, well, guess what? You have something going on that has not been resolved. And the day you would start focusing on it and resolve that, you would be free of it. And the situations outside will just change. The people will change. The people will either move away, either you will drop out of their life, or they will drop out of your life automatically. Because vibrationally, your being has shifted. So they do not anymore align. So they will drop out, and things will happen automatically. You do not have to try to push and pull yourself, run away from them. When you change, the situation outside just changes. These are organic thing. But what people try to do, they force try to change the situation. Not possible, doesn't work out much. So my invitation to all of you, work on yourself, work on this part of you that has this recurring emotion and recurring feeling that you have, that you're not able to get over with. Work on that. Seek an expert, do something, do some classes, whatever helps you. Personally, I've seen a class cannot help much. It is an individual attention that you would need, where you need to be handheld and navigated through your personal thing. And this is what has been my experience, because I have learned a lot of different therapies, group therapy sessions, but I needed someone to handhold me with my issue. I knew the technique, but I was not able to use it on myself. I needed someone else to handhold me and do this along with me. So, and that is my way. I may not be true. Okay, like this may not be real for all of you. It's just true for me, so I'm just going to follow what is true for me. Okay, so cool, guys. Thank you so much for being on the call. I'm going to share the recording. I have already shared in the group. You are welcome to book your slot. Please know this slot is not a healing session. This slot is just to, I'm going to just hear out to you, and I'm just going to perhaps share something that I've already shared here, but in a more specific way. Okay, so and then I'm going to invite you to what I offer as a one-to-one session for a period of time. So please know that. Okay, this call is not a call where your problem is going to get resolved. Please know it. I just want you to have a right expectation before you jump into this one-to-one call. Okay. So someone, please know that who know that I'm ready to do this inner work, and I would like to have someone to handhold me. Okay, you are welcome to book this one-to-one consultation with me. Okay, so thank you so much, each and every one of you, for staying and for being here and for your questions and for your presence. And I look forward to meeting you. And I wish and pray that all the part of you that has not been healed, may you be guided to heal all of that in this lifetime, so that we don't have to take another lifetime to heal that part of us. Yeah, that is my prayer. And yeah, feel free to reach out, and see you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Swami.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
you're welcome. Thank you, guys. See you. Bye bye.